And we are live.
It's downloading at 69.
So we're live on YouTube,
What?
and the game has loaded with 2 grinding
Well,
gears.
we are good. People
Well
are
done.
on Twitch.
Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. The first time we're doing a live stream of a live launch.
Yeah, I'm gonna check this out on YouTube until.
And I'm at the launcher login screen. Okay, so the server that is auto selected for me, Anil, is Singapore. Okay, now let's see if we can log in, because I'm expecting queues and disconnects and all these kind of things. Log in.
Yeah,
and
because it's still early, and I'm okay with that.
Hey Kyle, you're up. Log in. Log in. An unexpected disconnection occurred. Log in. Log in.
It should auto pull your account, right, from POE1.
Yeah, it should pull your Steam account. Yes. All this looks good. Looks good. Looks good.
I don't sleep. Ask me why it seems. Okay, Kyle, why don't you sleep? What's keeping you up at night?
Are you live on Twitch?
No, not yet. Game is at 74%. It's installing, but it's installing ridiculous. Okay. Okay, cool.
Come on.
Kyle is definitely on.
Log in. Log in. Connecting to login server. Unexpected disconnection occurred. Okay.
So it seems that by the time my game is, we should be logged in. Both of us should also be logged in. I'm at 76%. Let's go. Disk utilities. Oh, yeah. I know why.
Come on. Log in. Log in. Kyle is like, cause I'm Batman. Really, Kyle? Imagine if Batman calls himself Chad Bat.
Kyle. I was thinking more on the lines of just Kyle. It's like, who are you? I am Kyle. And he just flies away. Or whatever Batman does. Batarangs away. What does he do? Jumps from buildings? What would Batman do? Start the hashtag, guys. WWBMD. Let's go. So now I think it's just a long waiting game. Are you able to log in yet?
No. I'm just at the login screen. Login with Steam.
Yeah. I see. Allow me wait. Let me check something out. In the meantime.
What I'm gonna do is I'm going to Opera GX.
Obsessive Rituals will give you a sorcery ward, allowing you to defend yourself against elemental hits in exchange for less defense against attacks. With Zealous Inquisition, you're...
Sir, just what are we facing here?
What was that video pop out option? Oh, there you go. Yeah, I can pop out the video on but it doesn't show
on game.
No, it shows on the game, but doesn't show on stream. That sucks.
Oh, what do you want to display? The trailer?
Yeah, the trailer and everything, while I'm clicking on login.
Okay. Then just create a scene and have Opera running in it now. Because you're not doing a display capture, right? You're doing a application capture.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to I just want to try, before in PoE 1, your skill system was tied to gems, right?
Yeah.
So now it's not hard bound towards gems. It's more on customizing your weapon. So it's basically a weapon based skill system in this case.
Oh, there are gems also.
Yeah, but gems, yes, but each, for example, in PoE 1, skills were tied to the gems that you equip, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in PoE, in 2, the skills are integrated into the weapon. So each weapon type offers different abilities and skills to build on over there, and then gems will fortify that even more. So this is going to be fun. Also because, I just want to see it because the
Obsessive
enemy,
Rituals
the
will give you a
fighting
sorcery
mechanic
ward,
was
allowing you
fun
to
as
defend
hell
yourself against
before
elemental
also.
hits in exchange for less
But
defense
now
against
with
attacks. With Zealous
better
Inquisition,
AI.
your enemies have a 10% chance to explode on death.
I want to
The
see how
chance is
difficult,
doubled against demons
how
and
much
undead.
more engaging it gets.
With Judge, Jury, and Executioner, your initial hit against enemies can deal up to 30% of their life and damage, if you're lucky. This is great for hunting powerful bosses. And with Witchbane,
But I
you
really
can break
wanna-
your enemy's
I really wanna
concentration,
play
preventing them from
PoE
casting
with-
spells as
with
often as they would usually do.
Like, I really hope that's something I
You
can do.
could also choose to become a Gemling Legionnaire, enhancing your abilities by embedding gems directly in your flesh. Integrated Efficiency will give you extra skill slots. Thermatological Infusion gives you...
Also, if anybody's in chat, let me know what. Before I even start the game, let me know what what class I should be picking. I still haven't figured that out. The
Yeah.
biggest question for me is, what do I name my character?
Well, name is
It's
one
such
thing.
a big. It's such a big thing, yo.
We should
Like,
first get to play. that is the first.
Fair enough. Alright, 95% in. This should be good. Triple G. Let's go. 96. 97. Whoa, okay, now we're going. Now we're increasing speed. I don't understand. Like, it's still.
What, are you still not at the login screen?
I'm 97% in downloading the game. Like, installing it basically. I don't know how. Why is it taking this long to install an NVMe? Like, it shouldn't technically. But, hey, it is what it is. I'm going to start the Twitch stream also. Woot woot, we are live on Twitch. Hey y'all, welcome to our first of a kind day one release stream of the very anticipated Path of Exile 2. Really hyped about this one and would want to take a look at it, but unfortunately there are some downloading stuff happening. There's some installing still going on in the background for me, and well, Ron is still trying to, on the YouTube side, is still trying to get into the game.
I'm still trying to log in.
This is expected on day one though, so we're not too disheartened about it yet. Yet being the being the caveat here,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's give it a try. Hopefully when I load up, it should be better, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Installing 12%. Yay. Oh god. I don't even know what's going on anymore with this thing. Oh, my game is ready to play. Cool. Let's go. Alright, while that loads up, here's the animation logo. That's pretty cool. I really love the animation style. And we're in. I see the grinding gears.
Come on.
Contacting server. Unexpected error occurred. Nice. Oh wait, let me figure out one thing, okay? I'll just transition out because I think maybe Avast is
No,
firewalling.
no one has been able to log in yet that I can see. I'm checking some of the streamers. Check Twitch as well.
Oh, Kyle, since when did you start speaking another language, my friend? Kyle's going all como okay, costengo, coste, dese, jogo, whatever language that is. I don't know.
Portuguese.
Ah, okay. Cool, thanks. I wonder if it's firewall blocking it. Because it's just an unexpected error multiple times. Let me see if I... $143 in Paris. Singapore is 81. Wanna try Hong Kong? Nope. Yeah, this is just straight not happening. Options. Okay, let's see.
How do you crop in OBS?
So you right click on your source, go to filters,
Oh, all that.
and then add a crop filter.
Yeah. Now I remember.
Close. Okay, I'm gonna exit the game and try it again. Just because. Wow, that was dramatic. They call me Chad for a reason. Okay, 1v1. Okay, cool. Good job, Kyle. Good job.
It's all.
So I just restarted it and it's saying downloading right now. So
Downloading what?
like it's in the notification area where before it was saying it was giving some update saying POE something right.
Yeah.
Now it's just saying downloading for me. I just restarted again. And if I click options, I just need to drop my overall sound.
Ready your men, Captain.
Yeah, it's become louder, no?
Get one chance.
Yeah. Like it's just stupid loud right now. I like that the menus haven't changed though. unexpected error, same thing.
What do you think he was on about?
It's Dolman, right?
Yeah.
Then Dolman. Shut your damn mouth. Ah, why do I always get stuck with these rookies?
Hey, the kid's got to meet
Okay,
please.
so-
Give him a chance.
While this is happening, I
You
have
can see this.
set up the trailer and the the gameplay reveal on the stream.
If we can see what's happening.
Hey Tarun, how's it going?
Oh, okay. I clicked on that, it opened
A
up
mean
a
cleave, eh, Captain?
forum thread on Path of Exile.
Can't even lift his own foot. Captain Oren?
Early access launches soon. What you need to know. Okay then.
It's here.
Rain!
Please tell me
send a
something that
signal!
I don't know.
What the fuck?
Rain!
I'm just gonna keep pressing the login option.
Yeah.
On my back. Blade up! Come on!
Maybe if I can set up a script to auto-click login.
Tarun, Kyle is for some reason talking in Portuguese. I don't know why. Maybe it's what happens to him late at night.
No, I probably just found the setting for Google Translate.
Yeah, how are the practices going?
Run!
Yeah, nice. We need everyone to be on par. By the way, how's the volume levels on YouTube, guys? I know the game volume will be a little loud. It's become louder, and I think it feels like it's getting louder and louder. I don't know why.
Oh, okay, so I'm not able to access their forum also. It says 502 back gateway. Even their official forum.
On your feet, lad. Sir. The captain. You'll be fine. Here.
Let's see. Yeah, just cycles auto disconnect. Same, yeah. Team getting an unexpected disconnect. Yeah. Hoping I didn't screw myself by trying to use the Steam client. Don't worry, nothing works. Steam, standalone, Xbox, PS5. Everybody's reporting the same error. Even the website is dead 19 minutes ago. Poor servers, man. They never got a chance.
Yeah.
Get the body.
Shouldn't have done that. He's just a boy. God.
Your kind no longer
Even on
control
standalone
this
client
world.
also is the same.
We cannot destroy
But
your
at least
world.
everybody's loving the title screen.
But
This
you
is
will
like
watch
I'm
as
just
we
reading
destroy
as the
everything
comments
you
are
have
popping up. I'm just going through them.
Bind him.
Servers were cooked before the countdown was even over.
Feed. Grow, my child.
Nah, this
I'll
stupid
make
queuing
sure
post
you
RIP.
can
Who would have thought, yeah? Well, unexpected disconnect. Even the website is reported as a 502. Same. I mean, man, this game is awesome. Kidding, can't connect.
Yeah. What's going on Twitter?
I like this interaction here.
The
Like,
story
yeah,
of this
same.
game, Tarun, basically this is an ARPG,
Hi.
which is
I'm
like
Jonathan
Diablo.
Rogers,
I don't know
game
if you
director
know
on Path of Exile
Diablo.
2.
But
Now, Path of Exile 2 is going into early
yeah, the
access
story
in
is
around
basically
2
you're in
weeks on
this
December the 6th.
world and you have
Even though it's
classes
early
of
access, this isn't just
characters.
some small taste. The game is
different
huge.
types of
In this live stream, we're going to be introducing everything you can expect.
abilities
So without
that you
further
can
ado,
do.
let's roll the gameplay trailer.
And yeah, the story, we shall see what exactly the story is and what we have to do when we start the game.
Hopefully, today.
Life and death are mortal enemies, and yet bound to one another.
Well, it's 12 minutes into the stream over here, probably around 20 something on YouTube.
So the thing about this game is that
At all costs.
the game is free to play, but it's going to be free to play later. Right now it's in early access, and you can get early access by paying, right? Now,
This, I say,
so many people are anticipating and want to play this game that they have 1 million plus people that have bought early access immediately, and they didn't expect this reception and this many numbers. So the servers are really under stress right now because there are 1 million people trying to log in at the same time.
Servers are proper cooked. RIP servers plus FM chat.
Imagine that. I mean, you can call it an open world game. Yeah.
So just for the uninitiated.
You can look at the video in the on the stream, Tarun. A lot of the gameplay is shown there.
So just for the uninitiated, ARPG stands for Action Role Playing Games. So basically, well, it's a top-down isometric thing with lots of enemies, character leveling, fantasy theme mostly, and real-time combat. Which is, yes, that is basically it. Let's start logging in again. Oh, damn it, this Reddit comment.
those who obsess with death, let them soon be acquainted with it.
Now, as you just saw, even
Yeah,
in
but
early
one
access,
thing to
Path of
say is
Exile
that the
2
title
a
screen
big
music is
game.
pretty epic though.
It's actually been 5 years since we announced PoE2, and over that time we've revealed a lot, but it's been in bits and pieces.
Yeah.
It's
And
pretty hard to keep track of it all. So today we're going to
Tarun,
do a
it's
full rundown
also free to
of
play,
all the
so-
content that will be available at the
but
start of early
PC.
access. Classes, character progression systems, and for the first time, a full overview of the end game. This is going to be a big one, so get comfortable.
We
For
would be
20
playing
years,
another
Raycraft
free-to-play
has been
game
free
soon,
from
which
any
has
sources of
released
corruption.
yesterday or day before
The Count
yesterday.
of
It's
Ogre,
called Marvel
tainted by
Rivals.
promises of
It's
power,
sort of like
begins to
Overwatch but with
harness it
Marvel
once
characters.
more. The dead are rising, monsters are mutating, and madness is spreading. Under the dark influence of corruption, the Count doles out sentences of death to any who would question him. And this is where you find yourself at the start of PoE2. Explore the dark forests of Ogum, traverse the barren plains of the Vasteri Desert, and delve into the jungle ruins of Utsal, an ancient Val city. There are challenging monsters, hidden ruins, lost camps and treasures, roaming merchants, and of course, unique bosses. No two areas are the same. It falls to you to track down the seed of corruption, the source of all this devastation. On the way, you'll face fearsome monsters, meet strange characters,
everybody's
forge
still-
unlikely bonds, and uncover
Yeah, it's
lost
so good that for some
civilizations.
reason I don't like it. Yeah, Kyle.
First, you'll need to pick a class.
Intelligent games are not for everyone.
Now, early access
Ooh,
will initially have
burn.
6 classes available. Let's have a look at them. The Monk is a fast and furious melee fighter. He dashes in and out of combat and has mechanics that involve building up and keeping momentum. Like all classes in PoE2, you'll want to use a wide variety of skills to mix and match different combos.
Yeah, I'm just gonna check how the Twitch stream is.
To get new skills, you'll first need to find skill gems. Using a skill gem will open the gem cunning menu, which shows all the active skills available in PoE2. You can choose an existing skill to level
Okay.
up, or choose to engrave a new one. Since this is a level 7 skill gem, even if you pick a new skill, it will immediately be level 7, so there's no harm in trying out
Yep.
something new. The monk primarily uses the quarterstaff. There are 3 schools of martial arts: lightning, ice,
Come on.
and wind. But don't think you have to stick to just one. The best combos are going to involve mixing elements of all 3. Let's try killing palm. Like many monk skills, this can be used to quickly take advantage of a specific situation. If there's an enemy on low life, you can use killing palm to dash to them and kill them instantly. This will provide a power charge. Then we can use a different skill to consume that power charge for a much more devastating attack. The monk also has powerful combo skills. Tempest Bell, for example.
When do you think
The
we'll
skill
be
that
able
places a
to
giant resonating
connect
bell.
to the server?
Hitting
This
the
should
bell
be.
causes it to ring,
We should
doing
gamble on
damage
this.
to all enemies around it.
We should put a bet.
You can also do things like freeze or
Okay,
shock
I
the
say
bell, which will add
130.
elemental damage to the strikes.
Yeah.
also
I'm
has
gonna
a variety
say
of abilities to
maybe
empower the stun. If an enemy is close to
120.
being stunned, you can use staggering palm to punch them down.
Maybe a little
After
more
that, any attack you
optimistic.
do will shoot out wind
Let me
projectiles.
say, I hope it will happen by
There are
1.
21 active skills for quarterstaves, so this just scratches the surface of the options that you have. By endgame, you'll be
But I do
dashing
like
from
this,
path
it's
to path,
PoE to
spewing
PoE to
projectiles and
0.1.0.
obliterating screens of enemies with huge
Right,
combo
right.
attacks. Now, if you like a style of melee that's a
For
little
those of you
slower,
who are not
it's
used
much
to, you
harder,
know, like
and the
trying
warrior is
to
He
log
pounds
into
the ground
games,
with big chunky attacks and can shrug off
like
hits of
especially
small
highly
enemies with large
anticipated
amounts of
games
armor.
like these when
Even though the mace
it just
slams are
launches,
slow, you never lose
this is
control.
normal, okay?
Longer
Like,
attacks can be retargeted as you
it
go.
is
And if you
extremely
find yourself
rare
committed to a long
that
attack, you can dodge roll out of it
when a game
anytime.
launches that you're not in
Among the skill options
in
for
a
maces,
really
you'll
long
find a
queue
variety of
or
slams,
something
fire
like
attacks,
this.
war cries, and shield skills. Here, I'm gonna
Kyle
slam
says
the ground, rending it apart with
127
lines
and
of fire.
39 seconds.
Any slam skill will then
Now,
cause these
because he's
spaces
being
to erupt with
specific,
lava.
even if it is
And even run
37
with a
seconds, he
skill
will
like
still
Stampede
lose.
to do huge amounts of damage.
Yeah, definitely so.
The warrior can also use war cries, which can empower your next skill. Seismic Cry, for example, will double any slams from your next attack. The Stampede counts as a slam, so I can double that for even more craziness. If you want to go a little faster and be a little more defensive, equip a shield. In PoE 2, you can raise your shield at any time to block all damage from the front, even spells. While holding up your
PS5
shield, your
is
stun
roasted
meter will
right
build
now.
as you take damage, so be careful. If it reaches 100%, your stance will break and you will be vulnerable.
You got nothing to
Some
lose.
enemies
Yes, you
also
do.
have unblockable
Didn't I
attacks,
not
which are
mention that
indicated by
whoever
this
places
red
a bet
flag.
has to put
If
in
you see one
100
of these
bucks?
coming, make sure to
So, like,
dodge out of the way. Using a shield also
You know,
gives
you lose
access
100
to
bucks.
shield skills like shield charge, which allows you to charge towards enemies and stun them.
Who's keeping track
While
of this
charging,
time?
you're also blocking the whole time, so you have full damage immunity from the front. The warrior also has access to
Come on,
totems.
come on, come on.
Some totems have built-in abilities like Shockwave Totem,
Yeah,
which
if
can be
their
placed to stun
website is
nearby
still
enemies
down,
and trigger
I highly
aftershocks
doubt
like
the
those from the
server is
earthquake.
coming back.
But you can also get ancestral warrior totems, which allow you to use any slam skill.
You
in
can
your
just imagine the stress that the people in
This is
the
a meta
office must be
skill,
right
which
now.
means
Yeah,
that it's a
yeah.
skill you can put
No,
other
they'll be
skills
prepared
into.
for this. No,
I
they
can take a slam
like
Sunder and
they
summon
are-
it into my
Clearly they're not
ancestral
prepared
warrior
for it.
totem.
no,
Now when I summon
prepared
them,
in the
you'll
sense
sit there
that
and slam the monsters
that's
from a
why the guy
distance.
came out and he did a video
There are
saying
20
that, you know,
active
we
skills for maces, so
we
there's a lot more
expect
to try out.
this
But
to
by
happen.
in-game, you're going to be dropping hammers from the sky, moving fearlessly
Yeah.
into combat, and separating the very earth you stand on.
It was
Time for some
implied,
ranged
Kyle. It was
attacks.
implied.
The ranger is primarily about the bow, but we wanted
I
to
mean,
make sure that she
why
feels
place a
agile
bet
as well.
if it's not a bet?
In PoE2,
Yeah.
you can shoot
What do you think a
while
bet
moving.
is?
Combined with all the skills
There
the
has
ranger
to be
has that allow
some.
you to jump around,
If
you'll
there's
have a
no
lot of mobility
consequences
in
towards it,
combat.
then it's not a bet.
Bow skills have a variety of lightning, poison, ice, and physical attacks. Lightning attacks bounce around between targets. You can also stick lightning arrows in the ground which explode when hit by the bouncers, or electrocute enemies to take them out of combat.
We deploy the new database configurations are working on getting
Ice
everything
attacks
back
later
up
slow and
and
freeze
running
enemies to
our
keep them away
current
from
time estimates should have access
Using
open
poison not
within the
only can you
next half
slowly
an
damage
hour.
your enemies from afar,
Thank you again
but
for all
also
your
grow
support. We'll
some
continue to provide
interesting
updates as
plants.
they come by.
What is that? A tweet by
With 21 bow
Path
skills
Vector?
and all the
This is
mobility and
on,
combo tools the ranger
BOE's
has, you can
official,
take advantage of every
Reddit.
situation. By in-game, you'll be
On
creating
PO's
hundreds
official,
of arrows, be
what?
they falling from the sky,
Subreddit.
bouncing around between
And I
walls,
think
or
they
spraying out
would have launched it on
tornadoes.
Twitter also, but
You might have noticed
new
at the
database
bottom left of the
configurations are
screen that the
working on
flask
getting
slots look a
everything.
little different.
so hopefully within
In
another,
PoE2,
like I
you
said,
have
see,
one
half an hour.
dedicated life flask slot and one mana flask slot.
This
Flasks
is the
gain charges
timeline
as
that
you
I
kill
give
enemies,
people.
and typically allow you
How
to
long will
heal
it take?
6 or
I'll
7
take half an
times
hour.
if they're full. But
It's
that's
like
not the
Goan
only thing
timing,
you can
right?
use charges for.
Basically.
Charms
Like
are
5
a
minutes
new
follow
ability
it.
that will automatically
Where
defend
you
you
are?
from
There's
various
5
debuffs
minutes
or
only,
damage
right around the
types.
corner. I haven't left
Having
from home
trouble
yet,
with getting
but right
frozen?
around the corner.
Equip a thawing charm. When it's fully charged, it will make you immune to freeze for 3 seconds if you get frozen.
GST, not
To recharge them, just kill more
nothing to do with
monsters.
tax. Just go on standard time.
You can gain more slots for charms by upgrading your belt.
And not from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
The
You're not
mercenary
available.
wields a
Because
crossbow
that
that can be
time,
loaded
baby.
with different ammo types, offering versatility, power, and mobility. All classes in Path of Exile 2 can be controlled with WASD, which makes this class play exactly like a shooter. For the crossbow, you will find skills that work like shotguns, sniper rifles, assault rifles, and even grenade launchers. But not only that, there are a wide variety of more interesting elemental ammos too. It's very fast to switch between ammo types, as long as you already have them loaded, which makes the mercenary able to combo abilities together for
Let's see what
devastating
the
effect.
options are there.
Use Glacial Bolt to create walls of ice to separate enemies, then switch to Fragmentation rounds to explode the ice, dealing massive AoE damage. If I come across an armored enemy, I could use armor-piercing rounds to break their armor, and then high-velocity rounds to take them down. Or perhaps I could fire a gas grenade to poison enemies before detonating the cloud with an explosive shot for massive damage. If you want to call in some suppressive fire, you can summon artillery ballistas. These have a minimum range, so you'll want to prepare your position carefully before moving in.
Oh.
There are 22 active skills for crossbows. By endgame, you'll be calling destruction down from the sky as you litter the battlefield with grenades and pepper your enemies with your automatic shotgun. If you're looking to take a back seat and let your minions do the work, then the Witch should be your choice. She can call forth hordes of undead monsters to fight for her while casting powerful chaos spells that debilitate her enemies. Occult skills are some of the most varied in the game, with skeletons, noxious spells, specialty minions, curses, and sacrificial magic. Before we talk about minions, we'll have to talk about a new resource in Path of Exile 2 called Spirit. This is a Spirit Gem, which allows you to pick from a range of persistent skills. All classes have a variety of these skills which can add some very interesting effects, like Arctic Armor, which does cold damage to enemies that hit you, or Raging Spirits, which summon fiery skulls each time you cast a fire spell.
General item filter.
For the Witch, though, we'll want to be using our Spirit to create
There's
permanent
no
minions.
options. Okay, keep it
These
up.
minions will be revived automatically when they die, so you don't have to
Okay.
worry about resummoning them all the time.
Input.
Here, I'm using the skill screen to allocate which minions I would like in my horde. You can see the spirit cost of each one. Skeletal warriors are cheap
Yo,
but weak,
movement is-
useful for
is not
tanking damage and
WSD,
distracting enemies. But I want more heavy hitters in my army,
Mouse and
so I'm going to
keyboard.
unsummon some warriors and
there's a
instead add
WSD.
skeletal arsonists.
Yeah.
Permanent minions come with special active abilities
Are you
called
in the game
command
yet?
skills. You can
No, I'm
order
just
these
checking
guys to
the
detonate your own minions for even more damage and area of effect. If you want a
still
bigger
unexpected.
army, you'll need a scepter. This new weapon
we're
type
doing
is imbued
WASD.
with even more spirit, allowing you to summon
WASD.
even more friends.
Hells
And if you want an
yeah.
even bigger army
True
than that,
gamers will
you can take
understand.
advantage of corpses to summon true hordes of minions.
Flask in slot 1.
But what can a witch do while her army is at work?
Flask in slot
Well, she has a range of chaos spells to spread disease amongst your enemies, or bone skills to impale them. Or, you know, you could curse them to make them weaker so your horde can take them down. There are 25 active occult skills. By the endgame, you'll be the leader of a fearsome army of the dead, consuming everything in its path. The sorceress bends the elements to her will, using them to unleash devastation on her foes. This classic spellcaster weaves a flurry of elemental magic from afar. The elemental skills have everything you might expect and more. Fireballs, icy explosions, lightning storms, you get the idea. Each spell is unique and has many different ways to build and combo with others, even between different elements. For example, Flame Wall conjures a burning line that not only damages enemies, but also empowers all projectiles that pass through it. If you place a wall and fire lightning sparks through it, they'll gain extra fire damage. It's a good idea to take advantage of the ability to automatically swap weapons when you use certain skills. Having a special staff with bonuses to fire skills
13 bounce
and another
skills,
with
huh?
bonuses to lightning skills can really power up a combo like this. The sorceress can also take advantage of powerful trigger gems. For example, you could grab the Cast and Ignite gem and use it with Firestorm. As you ignite enemies, a counter will go up in the top left corner. When it's full, a Firestorm will automatically be cast at the enemy that was ignited. there are 25 active elemental skills. By endgame, you'll be firing off projectiles left and right as you rain down elemental storms on your foes. Now, those are the characters that will be available at the start of early access, but we will be adding 6 more character classes with just as many skills and options as these. There's a lot more to come. There's one more important thing to mention about skills. Even though we talk about them as belong to each class, in reality there are no restrictions. You can use all these skills on any class so long as you have the attributes. For example, a poison ranger might want to try out using occult curses to increase her poison damage. Or a monk might want to trigger elemental ice walls to use with his glacial cascade combo. The possibilities for cross-class combos are practically unlimited. We're looking forward to what kind of things you guys might find. Now, Path of Exile is a game known for build customization, and we haven't even scratched the surface of what is possible yet. So let's talk about support gems. Path of Exile 2 has a system of support gems that can be combined with your active skills to dramatically change the way they work. If you find a support gem, then right-clicking it will open up this screen.
114.
Here you will find a variety of recommended support gems for each of your skills that you can pick between. For example, this is a multiple projectiles support gem and can be used to add multiple projectiles to any skill. Normally when you fire a grenade it'll look like this. But if we add multiple projectiles, then you get 3 of them. Once you have the gem, you can also freely move it between any of the skills on your character. If you want to have a multi-shot sniper rifle instead, then simply move the gem over to your high velocity round skill. Generally speaking, if it sounds like a support gem should work with a skill, then it will work. So it's a good idea to experiment. Note that you can only have one of each support gem on your character, so you'll want to think carefully about which supports can be used best with each skill for maximum damage.
after an hour of gameplay.
If you want to stick to the recommendations, you should have a perfectly good time.
Serious
But if you want to experiment a bit more,
I think
you can't check
the
that recommended button,
the thing
and
they
you can
should
see
have
the
been,
full list of
we'll
supports
check
that
on
will
each
work with
other.
your skill. There are hundreds of support gems to choose from,
Yeah.
and even we don't know the results of all the possible ways these can interact.
Consider the fact that you haven't even
Each skill can have up to
get into
5
the game
supports
right
socketed into it, and if you're clever you can come up with some pretty interesting ideas. Now all of this is just scratching the surface. You can make frost vortexes, break people's armor, make minions explode, make skills repeat, make enemies set each other on fire, cull enemies or pin them to the ground. Supports let you drastically change the behavior of your skills and create your own unique build, or at least follow someone's OP build guide. So, speaking of builds, let's talk about one of the most iconic Path of Exile systems, the passive skill tree. Yes, it's huge. There are over 1,500 nodes on there.
Man,
Now, a lot of
the
people
skill
open the
tree
tree
is
and can get
so
a little intimidated
detailed,
at first, but try not to be scared.
Where are you
There are
seeing
lots
that?
of options, but at its core,
I'm playing
it's
the video,
pretty
no,
simple.
the gameplay video on the
Each level
on
you
the
get
stream.
1 point to put into the tree. Each class starts at a different location, but they all share the same tree. Around your section of the tree, you'll find relevant bonuses for your character.
What information
You should be safe in the knowledge that there aren't many wrong choices here. Almost all the starting nodes will be useful for your character in
I
some
wonder
way.
if there's
If you do happen to make a choice you regret,
right
you'll
now
be able to respec any nodes
has
you've
been able
taken
to
by
log
spending
in.
a little bit of gold.
Has there been anyone
one.
who? So no one's been able to log in right
No
now.
one. Servers are
Now,
cooked.
the tree is generally divided up into clusters which have similar themes. In each cluster, you will find small nodes that give simple bonuses like increased damage, but the real power comes from notables. Notables normally have much more interesting bonuses, and they tend to care a lot more about how your build works and what skills you're using. For example, in the mercenary area of the tree, this one gives a 25% chance for crossbow skills to not consume a bolt. And here's one that gives grenades a chance to blow up a second time. This one gives a chance for projectiles to rebound off terrain, as well as giving you some pierce chance to make that more likely. Note that even though this is in the mercenary section, this would work with projectiles from all classes, so there are often reasons to go to different areas of the tree. In order to get between these clusters, you will generally have to allocate nodes in the attribute highways. Attribute nodes allow you to pick which attribute you would like to use, so it's very easy to get points for any attribute that your gear might need. You can change which attribute these nodes give you for half price at the respec vendor. In addition to notables, you will also find even larger passives called keystones. Keystones have both an upside and a downside, and often require changing your entire build to design around them. A great example is Giant's Blood, which allows you to wield 2-hand weapons in a single hand, but doubles the attribute requirements of them. You can use a 2-hand mace
Have
with
you
a shield,
decided
or
on
even
your
dual wield them.
class?
No. I'm looking at the.
Or how about Mind Over Matter, which makes all damage go to your mana pool first before your life pool,
Whatchamacallit.
but you lose 50% of your mana regen.
like
Skills
the
like
class
these can be tough to
options,
build around,
and
but if you're up for
sometimes
the
it loads,
challenge, they can be
sometimes
very
it
rewarding.
doesn't. So I'm looking at other websites that are hosting.
As we showed you
Because their
earlier
site
on the
is still down.
Sorceress, you can
Yeah,
swap between
yeah.
weapon sets on the fly as you use certain skills. One of the new features in
Standard,
Path of
it is
Exile
what it
2's
is.
passive tree is that you can choose to have your passive tree change as you switch between weapon sets to take advantage of specific bonuses on the tree. For the Sorceress, you might want to change between fire and lightning specialization. Or you could switch between one hand and a two-hand setup in order to be able to block boss attacks while following up with heavy hits from your bigger mace. Or perhaps you could have a full curse setup on your witch to debuff enemies before switching to a chaos degen build for maximum damage. If you want to stick with just one weapon set, you can just use these specialization points as bonus points to invest however you like, but creative players will find plenty of opportunities with this system. You can get weapon specialization points throughout
Warrior,
the campaign
Titan,
from optional bosses and quests.
Warwinger, Witch,
For example,
Infernalist,
if I
Black
manage to
Mage,
defeat the
Ranger.
Crowbell, I'll get a weapon
Archer.
specialization book.
I'm torn
There are
between
lots of other permanent
Witch
boosts
and
available from the
Sorcerer.
campaign too. On the map, you can see
Most
icons
probably
that indicate
Sorceress.
the many optional encounters you can find.
But
Some of
what
them
about
have permanent
Blood
character
Mage?
boosts, and others have powerful items. If you're having trouble getting past a boss, it might be a good idea to explore and see what you can find. For example, if you defeat Blackjaw the Remnant, you'll gain a permanent increase to fire resistance. One of the most important finds are spirit bonuses. You can find the first one here in the canopy in Act 1. Defeat the boss in this area to acquire a permanent addition of spirit. The permanent buffs you gain from spirit are very powerful, and every class will find a use for them, so make sure you hunt down these upgrades. There's one in each act. Now we haven't even talked about the most important element of character progression, items. That's why we're all here, right? Items in Path of Exile can be broken down into 4 rarity groups: normal, magic, rare, and unique. One of the things you're going to want to do as you play through the campaign is upgrade the items you find, and you can do that with currency items. An Orb of Transmutation will allow you to upgrade a normal item to a magic item with 1 mod. You can then apply an Orb of Augmentation
see
to add a
classes?
second mod, then use a Regal Orb to add a third mod,
how
and
do you
upgrade it
see
to a rare.
classes?
Finally, you can
So,
use
like,
some
where do I
Exalted
find them?
Orbs to add more mods
looking
to your
at
rare
IGN
to a
right now.
total of 6 mods.
The website is not accessible.
One of the
so
things we think is really
look at the
important is
video.
to make these
Look at
options
the
available to use as you play.
The stream.
All the items that add mods are much
Yeah, you
more
can look at the
common than they
stream,
were in Path
but
of Exile
no.
1, so that you can use them throughout
you
your
could also
campaign
look
playthrough.
at the video on YouTube.
We want you to find
which
things on the
is,
ground that can be crafted into
from
upgrades
Path of
much more
Exile.
frequently.
the one
As well as making the drop rates on these items much more common, you can also get them by disenchanting
gameplay.
unwanted gear at the magic item vendor. If you disenchant magic items, you can build up to an Orb of Transmutation, and by disenchanting rares, you can build up to Regal Orbs. Another important area of crafting items in PoE 2 is sockets. Some items you find will have sockets that can have Ezomite runes placed in them that add more mods to the item. If I insert this glacial rune into my helmet, it will give extra cold resistance. This is a great way to solve problems that you have with your build, like resistances or damage. If you find socketed items that you don't have a use for, you can take them to the salvage bench in town to work towards an Artificer's Orb. This will allow you to add sockets to your existing items. Body armors and two-hand weapons can have up to 2 sockets, while the rest of your armor and one-hand weapons can only have 1 socket. You can also salvage items with quality to create items like armor scraps or whetstones. These will allow you to increase the quality of your items for an up to 20% boost. If you don't want to disenchant or salvage your items, you can always sell them for gold. Gold can be used to buy items from vendors, and we've tried to do a lot to make sure that the items they have for sale are actually useful. Every time you level up, they get more stock, so make sure to check back often. Other vendors offer a gamble. Pay a flat amount of gold and you'll get a random item of a specific type. This could be a great way to improve your gear, if you're lucky. Gold is also used to respec your passive skills. Take advantage of this system to experiment with your tree and rework it as required. The other thing you might want to use gold for is the currency exchange. This allows you to exchange currency items with other players on an open market, in exchange for a small gold fee. Now, all items in Path of Exile are freely tradable. We never bind anything to your character, except gold.
Okay.
Now, most gear in Path of Exile 2 is randomly generated, but there's another type that isn't: uniques. They are especially rare, each with a handcrafted set of unusual mods which can dramatically change a character's build. They're not just better rare items, they can do much stranger things that can fundamentally change your character. Corpse Wade will make any corpses you run through explode into clouds of poison.
Right, it's past 120, so that
The Sands
goes
of
my
Silt is a
my
body armor
prediction.
that changes your dodge roll into a blink,
Oh yeah, it's
morphing
past
you into
120.
sand as you teleport past your foes. And of course, some uniques are just pure hits of dopamine, like Quill Rain, which just turns your bow attacks into full auto by doubling your attack speed. Each unique is something that you can build your character around. We try to make sure that most unique items have a potential use at endgame, even if you find them early on. And as you can see, every single unique item comes with custom art to match. The last character progression system that you can do during the campaign is Ascension. Starting in Act 2, you will come across Ascension trials, tests that you must complete to unlock your Ascension class. We'll explain these trials soon, but first let's take a look at what Ascending can do for your character. Each class has access to 3 Ascendancy classes, but at the start of early access, only 2 per class will be available. Ascendancy classes are unique to each character class, so choose wisely. They can drastically affect how you build your character. As a sorceress, you could become a Storm Weaver, a master of the elements. Tempest Caller causes elemental storms to be summoned each time you do a critical hit with a spell. With Strike Twice, you can stack 2 copies of Shock for more damage. And
This
going
looks
deeper
so
into the
good,
tree,
bro.
you can make all your damage
What?
types apply Shock. Make a
Like I'm
Shock
looking at
build
the
with
video
any
and
skill.
I'm like, shit, it looks so good.
Yeah.
Alternatively,
yeah.
you could become a Chronomancer and command time itself. She
And every
literally
time I
has the
see that,
ability
I'm
to
like,
stop
I wanna
time
play
with
it.
time freeze.
Yeah.
Not only that, but she has many other time manipulation abilities. Using Temporal Rift, she can teleport back to a previous location, resetting her life and mana back to what it was. Or with Time Snap, she can reset all her cooldowns and cast all her spells again. On the Warrior, you can choose between the Warbringer or the Titan. The Warbringer channels the might of his ancestors to gain tremendous power. Using Answered Call, you can summon ancestral spirits linked to each of your totems. With Jade Heritage, you can encase your body in a protective layer that absorbs all damage until it
Wow,
breaks.
Path of Exile is
Warcaller's
number
Battle
1
allows you
trending
to
on
exploit
Twitch.
the corpses of your enemies.
Yeah.
And with
Even
great
more
power, you
than
can
just
ignore the
chatting and
cooldowns of your
ASMR
war
and all that
cards.
bullshit.
Let all that anger
Oh,
out.
really?
Yeah.
The Titan class is all about hitting big. With Earthbreaker, every slam is a chance to create an aftershock. With Crushing Impacts, every hit becomes a crushing blow, which will allow you to stun your enemies with ease. With Surprising Strength, you can take advantage of stunned enemies to deal 40% more damage. As a ranger, you might choose to be a Deadeye, an expert markswoman who can take down foes with style. With Endless Munitions, every attack gains an extra projectile. With Gathering Winds, she gains a
Yeah,
small increase to
that's
movement
very
speed with
classy,
every
nice.
attack. But be careful, she loses them when getting hit. With Eagle Eyes, she will never miss, allowing you to stop wasting all those passive points on accuracy. Alternatively, you could become a Pathfinder, the master of flasks and poison. She can choose from one of several throwable concoctions, allowing her to spend her flask charges to throw explosive bottles that deal various types of damage. A bleeding concoction will make your enemies bleed, while a fulminating one can shock your enemies, allowing you to do extra damage. Contagious Contamination allows her to spread poisons between her foes, while Overwhelming Toxicity doubles the number of stacks they can be infected by. Running Assault allows her to move much more quickly while firing, while Relentless Pursuit makes her totally immune to being slowed by enemies. The Witch can ascend into the Infernalist or the Blood Mage. As an Infernalist, she can summon a loyal Hellhound companion. The Hellhound sets enemies on fire,
Yeah, I think
as well
I'm
as
gonna
taking a
take
percentage
Monk.
of the damage if the Infernalist gets hit.
If I get to
With
play it.
Pyromantic Pact, you can turn your mana into Infernal Flame. As you cast more spells, the flame builds up, and if it overflows, you'll take damage. Using Bringer of Flame, you'll want to make sure you keep the flames topped up. While your Infernal Flame is above 30%, all damage from you and your minions will ignite enemies. She can also transform into a literal demon. While in demon form, she takes an increasing amount of damage, but her cast speed and damage increase rapidly as well. So if you're planning on transforming into a demon, make sure you stack a lot of life recovery. She can also become a Blood Mage, a master of life and energy. All Blood Mages must pay the price of making skills cost life as well as mana, but in exchange, every monster they kill will drop life remnants, which allow them to quickly gain back
Yeah,
that life.
11 lakh people.
With Crimson Power, she can gain large amounts of extra life, and with Vitality Siphon, she can use her spells to leech life back as well. Once you've got a significant amount of life, you can use Gore Spike to make your critical hits deal incredible amounts of damage.
Man,
A
I'm
monk
so
who is in
torn
tune with
between
the elements might become an invoker.
witch and sorceress.
With elemental
Even
expression,
monk
the invoker
seems
will create
good.
waves of elemental power each time he does a critical strike. With faith as a choice, you gain the ability to meditate, allowing you to double your energy shield. Choose between I am the blizzard or I am the thunder to specialize in cold or lightning. And I shall rage will allow you to turn into an unbound avatar. Each time you apply a
everybody's
status
stream
ailment
is
to an
either
enemy,
watching
you
YouTube
gain
videos
unbound
about
fury.
PoE or playing one
When
guy
you have
playing
enough,
Tetris.
transform into an avatar to deal way more damage and inflict even more elemental ailments. Some monks choose to reach into the darkness instead. The Acolyte of Chayula can exchange their mastery of spirit for darkness, a resource that can be utilized to both absorb and deal damage. The Shroud of Darkness will protect you from all damage incoming, but if you
I'm
take
watching
Grasp
YouTube
of the
videos
Void,
of Papa
you will deal
Mixer.
extra chaos damage from all the darkness you have. Their Dark
And guys
Pact
opened up his
offers
Instagram
greatly
and
increased
said-
resistances to chaos damage and can allow their Mana Leech to not only happen instantly, but apply to their energy shield as well. Another node you can take is Waking Dream, which allows you to see into the domain of the Breach Demons.
I want to
There
find
you
one
will see the
streamer
Flames of Chayula that can be taken to gain
or
life,
someone
mana,
on
and
X who
damage.
says he's in.
The mercenary has a job to do, but which job suits you? You might choose to become a witch hunter. Obsessive rituals will give you a sorcery ward, allowing you to defend yourself against elemental hits in exchange for less defense against attacks. With Zealous Inquisition, your enemies have a 10% chance to explode on death.
What
The chance
is
doubled
okay,
against
I
demons
feel,
and undead.
is
With
that
judge, jury,
it
and
seems
execution,
like
your initial hit against
it's
enemies
even
can
for
be up to
everyone,
30%
right?
of their
No one
life
can
power,
log in.
if you're lucky.
Yeah, it's an
This
even.
is
What
why
happens
you
to
powerful
other
bosses.
when
And
other
with
games
Witchbane,
launch
you
is
can
that
break your enemy's
some people are already
concentration,
playing,
preventing them from casting
whereas
spells
some
as often
people
as they would usually
can't.
do.
Right?
You could also choose to become a
This just
Gemling
seems fair to
Legionnaire,
everyone.
enhancing your abilities by embedding gems
Yeah,
directly
everybody's
in your
out.
flesh.
There's no.
Integrated efficiency will give you extra skill
like, oh,
slots.
this is
Thermatological infusion
Only
gives you
PC
extra
players
maximum
are out.
resistances as you sock up more and more support gems.
only certain users, only certain
Adaptive
servers
capability
are
allows you to use any color of gem without worrying about attributes, while Crystalline Potential adds extra quality bonuses to every gem socketed into your character. So those are the Ascendancy classes for the start of Early Access. But one thing we haven't talked about yet is how you ascend in the first place. Ascension in Path of Exile 2 requires
German
completion of one of the
streamers.
great trials, which you'll find as you progress through the campaign. Each one is associated with one of the major cultures of Rayclast. Located in the Vasteri Plains are the Maraketh, a culture of rich tales and brutal traditions, who must do whatever it takes to survive in the desert.
path of
The highest
Beard
position in Maraketh culture is a Sekima, and it is not a
One
title
dude
given
literally
freely.
shaving on
All
stream
aspirants must
while this
complete
is
the trial of
happening.
the Sekimas, a grueling gauntlet that will test their strength, will, cunning, and
He has
patience.
19,000 views.
To enter, a warrior of the Maraketh must prove their worth by trapping the soul of a djinn in a coin.
He's been
with a
streaming.
new
He's on
identifier.
a streamathon basically. He's been streaming for 82 hours. Okay.
Once you have earned your coin, it may be placed in the relic altar to begin the trial. In the trial of the Sekimas, each room has its own challenges to overcome. In this room, each rare monster you kill will send its blood to the chalice in the center of the room. Once the chalice is filled, you will be
I
able
saw
to
one
proceed.
stream where some guys in.
While fighting monsters in the trial, you will need to be very careful. Each hit will not
Really?
only hurt you, but will damage your honor. The monsters are well telegraphed, so that you can avoid their attacks, but if you run out of honor, you
Why
will
is he
fail
just
the
playing a
trial and
video?
need to find another coin in order to try again.
It
It is a good
doesn't
idea to make
seem
sure
like
that you
a
are well
video.
prepared before challenging the trial of the Sekimas. After each room, you will be rewarded. In this case, you have been given a key that can be used to unlock chests later in the trial. Once you have claimed your reward, you will be shown a map of the rest of the floor and may choose
Everybody
how you
is
wish to
chatting.
proceed.
How are you playing?
Which challenges would you like to
Only on
face,
PlayStation.
and which rewards do you want to claim?
On
Some
PlayStation.
rooms are more dangerous, afflicting you with debuffs that will persist for the entire
Okay, I'm
trial.
just gonna exit the game
For
and try it
example,
again.
entering this room will afflict you with Spiked Shell that will cause all monsters in the rest of the trial to have 50% increased life. You will want to take care if you choose such a path. There are many different challenges and rewards as you journey through the trial.
Okay.
Deadly traps,
Log in again.
waves of monsters, and strange artifacts will test your honor. As you progress, you'll be able to gain boons from the Jinn, which will help you on your journey. For example, the Sekima's cloak will revive you once if you die, giving you a second shot at a run. One of the rewards you may find is sacred water, an extremely valuable and treasured resource to the Jinn and the Maraketh. Trading it with
Yeah,
the
this
Jinn will
doesn't
allow you
seem
to
like
receive
he's
many benefits.
watching a video.
You can recover honor, gain additional boons, or remove afflictions.
Wow,
At
so
the end
someone
of
is
the floor,
actually
you'll
playing.
find a powerful boss which will truly test your limitations.
Probably
In
one.
order to ascend, you will need to
Probably a
defeat
few of them out there that are actually in game. And it's also past 1:30, so...
Having defeated
well,
the boss, you've earned the right to ascend. But
there
first,
goes my
the
bed.
loot.
So we both lost.
The keys you have found may be used to open the various treasures
Yeah.
in the vault at the end of the floor. We only have a single bronze key, so we'll just have to open one of these small chests. If you want to open the better ones, you'll need silver or gold keys.
Oh well.
Let's use the Altar of Ascendancy. Your first
All
ascension
right,
will
I
allow you
think
to
we
unlock
give
your
it.
class
I think we
and
give
grant
it
2
15
points to use in the
minutes
tree.
more. If nothing
Now, there are
happens,
more
we'll
floors
can
and
the
many
stream,
more rewards that can be found within the Trial of the Sekimas, but we'll save
Yeah,
that for
cool.
the section on the end game.
and maybe we can look
For
to
now,
do a
let's talk
Saturday
about the second
stream or
ascendancy
something
trial,
like that.
the Trial of Chaos. In Path of Exile
Yeah.
2, you can choose whichever trial you like to
I
earn
mean,
your
it's already
ascension.
started, technically.
Each culture on Rayclast had their own methods to ascend. If the Trial of the Sekimas is not your kind of playstyle, or you're finding it too difficult, you could try another. You can gain all your ascension points from just one, or mix and match them. It's up to you.
So is
For
that
early
guy really
access,
playing
we'll
on
have 2 trials as options, with
PS5?
the third trial coming later
he
for the
just
full
added
release.
a text. What a
While
guy!
exploring the Vaal
This is a
jungle,
video
you'll discover
servers
the
are still
Temple of
down. He just
Chaos.
added a text
Before the
box to
Vaal
his
embraced
stream.
the science of corruption, their civilization worshipped chaos. This ancient trial was once used by the Vaal to test their high priests. A high priest of the Vaal must show willingness to risk everything to gain power. Entry to the trial requires a token from a strange entity known only as the Trial
This is a
Master.
video servers on
For
text.
those in which he sees potential, he shall inscribe an ultimatum. Many have attempted these trials in search of greatness. Most have perished. Will you be able to defy the odds? Before you begin each chamber, the Trial Master will offer you a reward and a choice. Choose one of 3 tribulations to affect you through the rest of the trial. These modifiers might beef up the monsters, curse the player, or add environmental hazards like turrets or trap runes. In this case, we'll be picking shocking turrets.
Ah, come on.
As you enter the room, the Trial Master will fill it with hazards to test your commitment. In this case, you must destroy all the monsters that fill the room, while dealing with the lightning projectiles from the shocking turrets.
By the way, have you enabled drops on Twitch?
Yeah, drop it.
What are the drops on Twitch?
It's a skin. Special skin. Or something.
And how do you get it?
After each room, you will need to make a choice. Take the rewards you have earned so far, or go double or nothing. Increase your rewards, but take on more risk.
Anyone that's streaming.
Each tribulation you add is minor on its own, but they quickly stack on top of each other and can become overwhelming.
14 minutes or something. Then
There are many types of chambers in the trial. Each will test your resolve in different ways.
But yeah, make sure that
This one simply requires you survive for a certain amount of time. Another requires you to escort the stone idol through the level as elevators full of monsters descend to attack you. Should you be able to get through the first 3 chambers, you will face your first boss. The order of the bosses is random, and combined with the tribulations you have selected, the fight will never feel the same. After defeating the boss, you may claim your rewards. Of course, there are the items, but you also gain the right to ascend.
guys playing online Uno with on.
If you already did the Trial of the Sekimas, then you can claim 2 more points to add to your
Shroud.
Ascendancy class. Now, it's possible to go much deeper. There are more bosses, rewards, and risks to take, but we'll talk more about that when we get to endgame.
Yeah, he's
So how about we talk about that now?
Cards on Discord until.
So far, we've only been showing you footage from the campaign, but some people would argue that the endgame is where the game truly begins. Something that happens almost every time a new action RPG launches is people saying, there isn't enough endgame content. Well, we want to make sure that in PoE 2
Yeah, somebody
people
just
don't
commented
feel that
we're
way.
gonna get the drops
And we
before we
actually
play.
only changed our development priority for this recently. The first 3 acts of PoE 2 already take around 25 hours to complete if you're a new player. This is already a pretty significant campaign. On the other hand, people spend hundreds of hours in endgame each league. We realized that finishing the rest of the campaign for early access was actually a bad idea. Instead of having acts 4 to 6 in early access, we could concentrate on endgame and make that great. For new players, a 25-hour campaign is already a huge game with lots of content. But for existing action RPG players, what you mostly care about is all the endgame challenges to overcome. So several months ago, we switched the entire development team's focus over to making endgame content. At the start of early access, there'll be 50 bosses and around 400 monster types. But the great thing is that the rest of the game is like 80% there. We'll be adding content to roughly double the size of the game during early access and into release. Now, in order to make the endgame happen at the same character level as what it would be after we added the rest of the acts, we've added a second difficulty level called
Discord games?
where you repeat the campaign
like
with
what?
all the monsters and bosses leveled up. And of course, new rewards. You can kind of think of it as like a new game plus. It's also a lot faster to get through the content the second time as your clear speed increases. That will take you to around level 65, where the endgame begins. Once we add the remaining 3 acts, we'll be removing cruel difficulty, so you'll progress straight from the end of Act 6 to endgame. But what is the endgame? To explain that, I'll hand over to Mark. He can tell you all about it.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. Well, one thing that Path of Exile is known for is having a lot of distinct endgame content to choose between. Each endgame mechanic needs to have its own progression system,
I'm looking at that endgame video,
bosses, rewards,
and
player
they're talking
power
about the
that can
endgame
only
part
be
of
gained
it.
from that
So-
content. We're going to be adding a lot more over time, but for Path of Exile 2, we decided to
They
start
spend a
with
lot of
7
time
distinct
on
systems you
the-
can progress through. This is the
on
Atlas,
building,
and
you
it
know, the
serves as
endgame
the core of the
content, which is-
endgame for
which is
Path of
really
Exile 2. It's infinite and expands in all directions. Now, we are not going to spoil the plot too much here, but corruption from the beast has blighted the land, and your objective is to help fight it. In the center of the Atlas, you will find the Ziggurat, a temple in which the Val research the fundamentals of
I'm
space
currently
and
playing
time.
Minecraft.
Here, we can open portals to nearby locations and begin cleansing corruption and finding resources.
Blocks.io.
In order to power the portal
In Discord.
device, we will need
Yeah, in Discord chat,
waystones.
you can join.
Each waystone has a tier which will determine the level of the monsters that you will face. To go to an area, simply click one that is adjacent to an area that you have already completed. Insert the waystone and click Traverse. Portals will open, allowing you and your party to travel to the area you have selected. All the areas in the endgame feel distinct from the locations in the campaign, and we have dialed the randomization up to 11. The monster packs you will face in each map are totally random, and the combination of them can lead to some very interesting combat situations. There are over 400 monster types in early
I'm gonna
access, and they have a
exit
lot of
and I'm
varied
gonna
and
try
interesting
to
abilities.
load the
Depending on
game
which
again.
combinations you face, you might find some serious challenges. In order to cleanse the corruption from the area, you will need to defeat all the powerful rare and unique enemies in it. Once you have done that, the area will be marked as completed and you will be able to travel past it to progress deeper into the world. If you die, then the map can no longer be run, and you will have to find another way around to get to the areas behind it. There are also all kinds of other random encounters you might run into as you play maps. One such encounter are precursor artifacts. These are ancient, corrupting monuments that irradiate the monsters around them. The monsters that feed off the corruption are drawn to their power. If you defeat the monsters and cleanse the artifact, you will get a powerful temporary buff. Some of the buffs make you faster, others rain lightning or fire around you, and some even give you increased experience or help you find better items. You can also find strong boxes. These enigmatic chests guard piles of treasure, but are always a trap. Monsters
I
lie in
reloaded
wait to attack you the moment you
the
open
game,
it, and the
and
boxes
now the
often have
default
mechanisms to unleash powerful
gateway that is
spells or
selected for me is
dangerous
Hong Kong.
demons. There are different types of strong boxes containing different items,
so they're still
and you
working
can
on
even
this.
use your currency items to craft them on the fly, so you can optimize the contents. But be careful of opening one you can't handle.
We're playing at a last server itself.
Sometimes you'll discover monsters frozen in essences, solidified crystalline corruption. These dangerous monsters can be broken free. If you defeat them, the essence they drop can be used to upgrade
And it
normal
says
items to magic
downloading.
items with a guaranteed mod from a
Oh,
character.
that's it's downloading the link.
For example, we could use this one on
that
some
says
boots to ensure a movement
the
speed
first of
mod.
launching of PoE, something the thing that you saw before, right?
Rarely, essences will also drop
No,
that allow you to
in the
upgrade
client
magics
it's
to
saying
rares,
downloading.
adding the
Yeah,
guaranteed
same
mod.
thing. That's for that. That's for that.
This is incredibly powerful since it allows you to get a second deterministic mod in your crafting projects. Combining these with the currencies that are commonly found in Rayclast for modifying items, and we can get a very nice pair of boots indeed. Waystones, like all items, can also be crafted using your currency items. Adding prefix mods will improve the rewards, while suffix mods increase danger. The more dangerous a map is, the more waystones will drop. Adding mods to your waystones is key
Still
to
can't get
progressing to
in.
higher tiers and sustaining them, but it will require you to take on larger challenges.
Can you join the Minecraft?
There are a variety of factors you have to consider when
No, I'm not
crafting your
jumping
waystones.
Minecraft.
Some maps will have higher density, some lower, some have more magic and rare chests, or monsters.
I'm letting the
some are
video
more
play on
linear,
the
and
channel
others
so that
more
at
open.
least
Make sure you explore
that
and
is
think
there.
about what makes certain
when
maps good if you want to
people
maximize
do
your
rewatch
returns.
this video, you know,
As you cleanse
or click
corruption
on
from
it
higher
later,
and higher tiers of the
there's
Atlas,
something
you will gain points that you can spend in
rather
the
than
Atlas
us
tree.
just doing.
This tree allows you to
Random
reduce
stuff.
the danger and rewards of
Which they're
all
getting
areas in the
Minecraft,
endgame.
like it or not.
You could increase the number of monsters, the number of rares, the number of
This is why we
precursor
have to do
artifacts or strong boxes, even the quantity of item drops. As you explore the in-game world map, you'll notice various different biomes, from snow-capped mountains to dense
All
jungle
it's actually doing is
valleys.
bit for the
Most maps are restricted to certain biomes. As you continue to explore deeper into the Atlas, there are all sorts of things to
Pink
discover.
tiles over there.
These cities are constructed by different peoples of Rayclast and have specific items that can be found there. These strange structures marked on the map don't appear to do anything for now. Perhaps you'll work out how to use them later. You might find unique maps like Untainted Paradise, an undisturbed island full of beasts that give an extreme amount of experience. You may even find a lonely man just enjoying his retirement who will give you a unique item for free. In addition, you can find special areas that would make a good spot to set up camp. Clear these areas of their hostile inhabitants, and you'll be able to claim them as your own hideout. You can decorate your hideout as you see fit and invite various NPCs to join you there to create your own personal base of operations. A great tool for exploration are towers. These mysterious precursor constructs are dotted around the Atlas. Completing the tower will reveal a large area around it, allowing you to scout out your next challenge. There are lots of things to find, so keep looking. Some sections of your Atlas are influenced by corruption. This adds extra modifiers to the maps in the region, increasing difficulty and rewards. Here, slaying monsters in close proximity to each other will cause the vestiges of corruption within them to merge together, forming powerful and grotesque abominations. You may have noticed while looking at the Atlas that some of the areas have these icons above them. The icon indicates that the area contains some kind of special encounter. This icon indicates that the area has a powerful boss. Because only 1 in 4 maps contain a map boss, we are able to make them very powerful and very rewarding. These bosses come from the campaign, but have had their difficulty increased with changes to AI and some of their abilities. It's worth noting that because you can see where the bosses are, you can choose to take them on or avoid them. If you do choose to hunt bosses though, then you will be rewarded with special points for the boss hunting section of the Atlas skill tree. The points here will allow you to specialize in boss killing, giving you much greater rewards for defeating them. For each different type of content in the endgame, we are adding specialized trees in order to make it so you don't feel the need to respec your points when you change between different types of
I'm gonna
content.
let this video
We will be
play,
showing you 7 of these by the
and
end of
once
this
it gets over,
presentation, so there is
then
still a
probably
lot
we
more to
can,
come. Bosses are not the only icon you will see on the Atlas.
tell me,
Let's
but
take a
calling
look
this
at one of the
free, I mean, yeah,
in-game
what else can we
systems,
do?
Breach.
Honestly.
If you played PoE 1, you might be familiar
I mean,
with Breach.
I
For
guess
PoE
a
2,
younger
we
me
created sequels to several
would
PoE
probably,
games.
yeah,
While
just
the
wait it up
mechanic
till the game is
familiar,
ready.
The monsters, bosses, rewards, and progression are all new. A breach is a tear in the fabric of reality. Opening it will allow
But I'm
you to
not
see
a younger me
demons and
anymore.
otherworldly monstrosities that lie in wait on this other plane of existence. By engaging with a breach, you'll create a bridge between their world and Rayclast. In order to keep the breach open, you will need to kill the demons that pour forth. The faster you can kill the monsters, the more monsters you will fight, and the more loot you will find. You can also find clasped hands that will open and drop more items if you run over them. These can be a good boost to the rewards of the breach, so keep an eye out. One of the rewards that you may find while fighting monsters from Breach are tablets. Tablets are special items that can be used with precursor towers to add more encounters to the Atlas.
The endgame
Breaches
stuff is
will
like
drop
really,
breach tablets.
really
Clicking on the
detailed and
completed
really
tower
intense.
will allow
Huh?
you to consume the tablet
Yeah.
to add more breaches to areas within range of the tower. This
Well,
makes all the content
like
in
that
the
they're
Atlas
talking about
self-sustaining.
endgame stuff
Want to do
while-
more breaches?
while
Find the tablets, add them to your towers, get more breaches,
waiting
getting
for the
more
game to
tablets.
start.
Soon your
Yeah,
Atlas will
yeah.
be covered in otherworldly domains. In addition, like all items in
I can't
PoE,
even play
you can craft them.
Conquer Strike.
Use your currency to add mods to your tablets, allowing you to upgrade all the breaches in range.
Conquer Strike.
Tablets can have up to 2 mods. These mods do things like adding extra rare monsters, extra clasped hands, or even mods to density of breaches, allowing you to keep them open longer. Often you will
collection.
find multiple
What?
towers near to each other with overlapping areas of effect.
Are they on
This
the
can
same
allow you to
servers?
really juice the mechanic by
Leave
stacking the
activity.
mods from multiple tablets.
Sad.
In your fight to hold the breach demons at bay, you may want to use the powers of their world against them. Each in-game
Let's see what
mechanic
other
always has
activities
player power that can only be gained from that mechanic, and Breach is no different. In Breach, you will find catalysts, items that can increase the quality of rings and amulets
I know
by
what I
improving
mean.
specific
Let's see.
mobs. You can also
Killing the
find
memes
Breach
and
Rings,
sense
a
of
special
justice.
base type that can have its quality improved by catalysts up to 50%.
What if I change
In this
server to
case, you could
some-
create a ring with around
I tried it,
170
nothing
life.
happens.
Breach rings can become
Well, you
some
can
of the
try this
strongest
also.
rings in the game, giving you some good motivation to face the demon hordes. In addition, each endgame mechanic needs to have a pinnacle endgame encounter. While
Let's
killing breach
see.
monsters, you may find breach splinters.
New Zealand?
Collect enough of these and you'll be
No.
able to create a breach stone.
South Africa?
Using a
No.
vile technology called the Realm Gate, you can use your breach stone to access their domain and bring the fight to them. In this
Amsterdam.
twisted domain, you will find nothing but a single massive breach. Triggering it
Milan.
will reveal hordes of breach
No.
inhabitants. And should you be fast enough, you will be able to fight their leader, Zesht. We that are one.
Zisht, we who are one. One of the bosses in the end game.
It's just we were one.
Yeah, his name is Zisht. We
This
who
is
are
just
one.
one of the pinnacle encounters
Oh.
of PoE 2. We won't be showing the rest of them, so you will have to discover them for yourself. But rest assured, this is some of the hardest content we have ever made. All of these encounters have specific uniques that can only be found from them, but that's not all. We still have the progression system. Defeating Zesht will give you points to allocate into the breach section of the Atlas tree. Allocating these points will make breaches and the breach domain even harder, but will give you more rewards. The small nodes will increase the difficulty of the
bots.
twisted domain, while the large nodes have more specific bonuses. For example, this node adds more clasped hands to your breaches,
Oh, well,
and
not
adds a
that.
pack of magic monsters that can
Leave
guard
this
them.
activity.
Get some more points and you can allocate Waking Nightmare, which will double the number of splinters you get from clasped hands, and inflict you with a mysterious debuff. In order to earn more points, you will need to defeat Zesht at a higher difficulty,
let's see.
and some
Log in
rewards
again.
from Zesht can only be found by increasing the difficulty of the Twisted Domain above certain thresholds. Defeating Zesht
Okay.
at difficulty 4 will be a challenge indeed, but there are many more threats in Rayclast.
Load it back
Ritual
into the
altars
game.
are sacrificial sites built by the mysterious King in the Mists. If you encounter this symbol on the Atlas, then you know that the area contains ritual altars. Ritual altars demand tribute. Every monster you slaughter in the circle will feed the altar. After the sacrifice, touch it to begin the ritual. The monsters you just killed will be resurrected by the King of the Mist's dark magic, and you must fight to survive. The tribute you have offered to the altar can be spent to buy powerful items, but they can be expensive. To gain more tribute, you will want to find more altars. Each successive ritual you
The
do
realm
within
is
an
currently
area will
down for
spawn the
maintenance.
monsters revived
Try
by
again
the
later.
previous ones, in
Abnormal
addition to the ones you
disconnection.
sacrificed
At least there's a new
By
message.
the end of an area, you'll be fighting a truly imposing number of foes, but will have a significant amount of tribute to spend. One of the rewards you can buy with tribute are omens.
Yeah,
These
at
are
least there's a
special
new
items
one.
that
That means
allow for
something's
better
happening.
crafting.
Yeah,
Crafting
yeah.
items that affect other crafting items. Have an item with good prefixes
Let's
but
see if
bad
your website
suffixes?
loads up
This
right now.
omen will help you to remove the mod you don't want while keeping the ones you do. There are a bunch more of these with different effects, but we will leave them for you to discover. Now don't forget that Ritual will also drop tablets which can be used to specialize into getting more rituals. If you want to get to the pinnacle boss of Ritual, then you will probably want to use them. They can also be crafted to grant mods, making your rituals more rewarding.
Yeah, so it looks like they're looking to fix
of
it,
Ritual is the King
but
in the Mists. Feared
not
by
yet.
the Asmeri people, he is said to have brought eternal darkness to the Wildwood. We won't show the
Yeah, with stuff
encounter,
like this,
but
we
just
don't-
like Breach, there are a range of
they,
unique
they
items
said
you can
they
get
said
for
in their
defeating,
videos itself
and
only.
you will
We
gain
don't
points
know
at the ritual
how long
section
it's
of the
gonna
Atlas
take.
tree.
Yeah, yeah.
Some maps have been touched by
So-
insanity. A mysterious entity has taken a special interest in you. Step through the looking glass and you will find your nightmares coming to life. When you touch a mirror, the mists of delirium will spread out across the area, infecting your mind. You must stay within the mist to maintain the nightmare, which is as profitable as it is terrifying. Everything you kill will increase the rewards that drop. However, the deeper into the mist you travel, the stronger the monsters are. Be careful not to overstay your welcome. Rare and unique enemies will become vessels for terrifying demons, who will manifest out of them to unleash powerful attacks on you. The mist also offers a strange crafting material, distilled emotions. By combining these emotions, you are able to instill your amulet with a notable from the passive skill tree. This is like gaining an extra passive point for free, attached to your gear. They are also particularly great because you don't have to traverse the tree to get them, allowing you to get off-class bonuses that would normally be much harder to get. Distilled emotions can also be used to instill your in-game maps, applying Delirious to them and adding additional difficulty and rewards, allowing you to further juice your in-game maps. The tablets you can find from Delirium can be used to further improve it, increase pack size, make the fog dissipate slower, or improve your progress towards the pinnacle encounter of Delirium. Speaking of which, every now and then you will find simulacrum splinters. The mysterious entity will create strange encounters based on warped versions of your own memories. Monsters and simulacrums come in waves that get progressively more difficult. You will receive loot at the end of each wave, and you will have to make the decision to leave now or continue on, facing up against even tougher foes from the mist. The bosses you will face as you get deeper into a simulacrum are truly terrifying. If you can complete a simulacrum, you will gain points for the Delirium section of the Atlas skill tree. Next up, we have Expedition. Occasionally while clearing corruption, you will encounter these Kalguran settlers. The Kalgurans have discovered ancient burial sites with lost Verisium artifacts, and they want you to help dig them up with explosives. The Kalgurans have marked the locations where the relics can be found. Place explosives as best you can to dig up as many as possible. There is just one problem. Corruption has brought the corpses of their ancestors to life, so you might have to do a little cleanup before you can reclaim the artifacts. You can also find remnants, the destruction of which will further anger the restless dead. Each one you blow up will make the subsequent monsters more powerful, but also more rewarding. Danik, Rog, Tujin, and Gwenin will exchange the artifacts for useful items and runic magic. You can also find tablets to increase the number of expeditions and the rewards. This one increases the radius of explosives, while this one increases the number of remnants you will find.
Oh, that new error message is gone.
Eventually, you might discover a
it's
log.
still back. It's
These
back
are
to
special maps full of
unexpected
buried treasure
disconnection
and relics.
occurred.
Essentially, one giant dig site. Here, you can
Do you wanna
create an
wait for 5 more minutes and
extremely
call
long
it?
chain of
Yeah,
explosives
yeah.
I mean,
and go through a
if you
very
wait for
high
5 more
number of
minutes, then
remnants.
if it works,
But be
then
careful. Many remnants have mods that can
Guess we'll
really
be on
break your
to
build,
4.
so you will probably want to avoid these ones. If you add too many remnants, you could easily make the encounter harder than you can handle. There are all sorts of interesting things buried under the ground in logbooks. You
Because their
might find
websites are
dripping
slowed down, so-
caves and hidden pirate caches, but the most powerful
That's a
encounter
good
is
sign.
Ulrich,
Yeah, I
the
feel for
ancient
them
undead
because they're
commander
not
of
like,
the
you know,
Knights of the Sun.
a big
Defeating
company
him
like
will grant you
Blizzard
unique
or
rewards, as well as
EA.
points to spend in the expedition section of the Atlas tree.
Now, if it was like
So those are the
companies
in-game
like EA
systems
and
on the
Blizzard
Atlas,
and all
but we
these
are
kind
not
of
done
companies
yet.
that have,
The
you know,
Then I
trials we
would be
talked
pissed
about
off.
earlier
Yeah.
have
That this
much
is
more
happening.
content when you get to endgame 2.
and these
Just
guys
like
will
the
not
other
come out
in-game
and say, you know, we're
systems,
going to
they
have
also
problems
have
and
progression
everything.
mechanics, unique rewards, and player power that can only be gained from them. As you get higher level coins for the Trial of the Sycamores, you will unlock more floors to explore. Each floor has its own challenging rooms and a floor boss that you will need to kill. There are 4 floors in total, leading to another pinnacle boss at the end of the last floor, which can only be accessed at endgame. The Trial of the Sycamores is where you'll find jewels, which you can socket into your tree. These are like passives that you can craft with your currency items. They can be really powerful as they allow you to stack modifiers that may not be easily accessible on the tree normally. This jewel gives lightning damage and shock chance, for example. There are quite a few jewel sockets on the tree, so it's possible to gain a lot of power here. There are also other types of jewels that don't provide any bonuses themselves, but affect other passives surrounding them. This jewel increases the effect of small nodes in radius by 25%.
Authenticating user.
With
Fuck.
careful placement
The
in
servers
tree,
are not yet
you can get a
online. You have been
significant
placed in
amount
a
of
queue
power from it. There
to
are
log
also
in when they
unique
come
jewels
up.
available with
There are
very interesting
1,319
effects, but you will
people
have to
ahead of
find
you in
those
the
I am
queue.
yourself.
3,523.
In order to push
I
further
clicked it
into the
literally
trial
when you said,
and
oh, I
uncover the
clicked
secrets
login.
of the Marakith,
In
you will
that
want to take
fraction of a
advantage of its
second,
progression
2,000
system,
people joined
relics.
in.
Relics are items
Well,
that
at
can be
least now
placed
there
at
is
the
a
relic
queue.
altar as you start the trial. They give special bonuses that affect the trial, making it easier and increasing its
And
rewards.
as
Of
you
course,
said,
you can
oh,
craft these with
the
your currency
PoE
items, making
website
them
also
even
came up.
stronger. If you can complete the entire trial overcoming all 4 floors, the final boss will reward you with one of many unique relics. These relics will be consumed when used on your next run, but can reward you with unique and powerful items. For example, this is the Last Flame. If you use it, you will have only 1 honor for the entire trial, so you will need to do a completely hitless run. The Trial of Chaos also extends into the
Oh, the
endgame.
music
As
changed.
you gain inscribed ultimatums of higher and higher levels,
wait, no.
the number of chambers that you can go
Is it?
through increases.
I
In
don't know.
true Val style, this allows you to take
Oh, wait,
even more
sorry, that
risks
could be
for
Discord.
even more rewards. At
that's
endgame,
definitely
you can
Discord from
progress
the
through up to
activity.
10 chambers with 3 bosses on a single
What
run.
the hell?
Stacking 10 tribulations on top of each other will make this a significant challenge, but it's
Shouldn't
worth
that
it.
number
The
update
Trial
though?
Master will tempt you with items of the Val Empire,
Yeah, like when
such as
people
Val
get into the
Orbs.
game, no?
Val Orbs are powerful crafting items that corrupt your gear with random mysterious outcomes. Corruption prevents an item from being modified further, so it has to be the last step of your craft. But it's also the most impactful one. For example, if you use one on your body armor, it might add a new powerful enchantment, or it might reroll up to half of its
3,523 people
modifiers.
are ahead of you
Val
in queue.
Orbs also have
How
the
much?
ability to add a socket,
3,523.
allowing you to bypass the normal restriction
That
of how
hasn't.
many
That number
sockets an
hasn't
item can
updated for
have.
you, right?
A body armor can
No.
get up to
Has it-
3
is it
sockets
updating
this
for you?
way, allowing
No.
for a significant number
So,
of mobs.
so what does that mean? I have to
Orbs
like
can even
wait,
modify units.
or
Adding
do I
enchantments
cancel
or
and try to
socket
log in
units can
again?
Make them
How about
incredibly
you try
powerful,
cancelling?
but there
I'm
is
not
a good
cancelling.
chance
I'm not
that you'll
cancelling.
break them as well. The Trial Master will also occasionally
somebody
offer
has
you
to do
soul
it.
cores. Originally formed by Chaos, the Val sought to replicate soul cores through human sacrifice rituals and blood magic to power
Let
their
me see
civilization.
in some
Soul
of the
cores are
streamers.
powerful socketable items, with mods that cannot be obtained from regular runes.
Zakror.
Like all in-game
Yeah, same
content,
thing.
there
Even
is of
he's
course a
gotten the
pinnacle
message.
boss. The final chamber will drop keys to this mysterious
He's on
door.
14,000.
Some say this is where the Trial Master himself resides. Perhaps you are
But then
willing
he's
to
playing on
take the
US
risk to
servers, so-
find out.
Yeah.
Had enough yet? Because there is still just one more thing. The most difficult
checking out
content
voice
in
code.
Path of
Let's
Exile
see.
2. While mapping, you might come across this fortress that has emerged from underground, surrounded by an enormous maze riddled with danger. Is the maze preventing something from getting in? Or
Washington,
something getting
DC,
out?
he is
This fortress is
18,000.
of ancient origin, and its construction has similarities to the towers and tablets that you have been using on your journey
Like,
through the
imagine
endgame.
the little
It is clear
serotonin
from the
everybody
entrance
must have
that there
got
are
just-
3 keys
just-
required to enter.
just as
Local
this came up,
factions
no?
are vying
Yeah.
for access to the fortress in order to seize the power they believe will be inside. Each of the faction's leaders have managed to get their hands on one of the keys, so you will need to defeat them.
Okay.
Each
it
faction is led by an Uber Axe
officially
boss.
low budget.
You can see one of them inhabiting this city, but in order to fight him, you will first need to defeat their 2 lieutenants in the
Somebody just
adjacent
put-
zones.
somebody
Be
put some
careful.
files
If you
there.
fail against either of the lieutenants, or to kill the leader, they will move on, and you will need to find them again. Kill all the Uber bosses and you will gain access to the fortress. We aren't going to spoil it as we can't wait to
just
see you
as
guys
soon as
attempt
it-
it for the first
as soon
time.
as the queue
But is there
numbers
a
start
tree
to
you
drop,
get
I'm
points in
gonna
after
get
killing
jealous
it?
because I know
Of course
somebody
there
else is
is.
playing it and
This is
I'm
Path
not.
of Exile. There is always another tree.
So these are your challenges for PoE 2. As you can see, this project is crazy huge, way bigger than even we expected when we started out. But how do you gain access? Well, during early access, you'll need a key to get in. To thank our existing PoE supporters who have spent more than $480, we'll be giving you guys a key for the PC version for free. Anyone else who wants one can get one by purchasing one of the new early access supporter packs that have just been released to the store. If you just want early access to PoE 2, then you can get a key in the $30 early access pack. The pack also comes with $30 of points to spend in the MTX store. But we also have a variety of other supporter packs filled with exclusive microtransactions, points to spend in the store, and even physical items. The cosmetics can be used right now in PoE 1 and in Path of Exile 2 when early access starts. Most of this footage has been recorded in Path of Exile 1, since that's where you can use them immediately. The Lord of Ogham supporter pack contains a cosmetic armor set befitting of the Count of Ogham himself. There is also a matching back attachment which has an alternate variant depicting the influence of corruption. Also in this pack you can find a portal formed of the rusted armor of the fallen soldiers in the Red Vale of Ogham, and the offspring of a vicious crowbell boss found in the hunting grounds. This one doesn't look so vicious though. On top of that, you'll receive the Iron Count's Y-hander to apply to your one-handed or two-handed swords. For those who are wanting to decorate your hideouts with fond memories and tales of Path of Exile's history, you will also get a series of hideout statues. This pack contains the statue
the numbers
of
are
Elk.
not dropping as well.
For Path of Exile 1's closed beta,
As
each
in?
pack contained a true New Zealand icon, the
Like, I'm
Kiwi.
waiting for the numbers to drop.
Following
but
this
I'm
tradition,
looking
all
at
packs in the
352.
series will
Yeah,
also
so-
contain a new themed Kiwi pet.
Oh.
The pet will
I
loyally
think maybe
follow you
we're
into
just
battle, but
in
run
the
away at
queue,
first
but
sign
that
of
will
trouble.
not update.
Become the ruler of the
Yeah.
desert with the king of the Faraday's
No, I there's no way in hell I'm
Show your
clicking on
mastery of
cancel
traversing the sands
and
of
then
the
log in
Vesteri
again
plains.
unless
The body armor
I'm
will allow you
deciding
glide
to
along the
actually
ground
quit
with
the
ancient
stream
sand
and
magic.
you know like
Now each
just
armor
see
set
what
comes with
happens.
body armor, boots, gloves,
Well,
and
it
helmet.
is 2 o'clock.
But the boots are
I
covered
don't
in
know
sand.
I don't know about you,
If you
but
prefer to show them
I'm
off,
feeling a
you can
little
turn the
tired.
gliding off if you want.
okay then
Yeah, I was
The
gonna keep it
accompanying
on.
back
I'm
Then-
gonna
attachment
keep it on
equips you
for a
with
bit
2
longer.
powerful pillars that can
I
control
was
and
going to tell you to
manipulate
try
light.
testing
They
cancel
will
and
periodically release
log
their
in
energy in
again.
a powerful blast while
Oh,
in town,
okay, cool.
and hover in a circle around you,
shit.
arcing lightning between them,
Damn
forming
it.
a barrier of
This
energy.
is gonna be a.
Replace the appearance of any bow with the Faraday's glory
okay,
skin,
let me toss a coin.
or
and see.
replace the appearance of a spear with the Tyranny's
Oh,
End
do.
spear skin.
Oh, well,
This spear
let's
skin can be applied to staves and war staves in Path of Exile 1.
Okay.
If you want to
tossthecoin.com.
truly show your worth as a king of the Faradin, then you definitely need your trusty moving entire city fortress known as the Dreadnought to travel across the Vesteri plains. In
And
Path
I
of
have
Exile, you can
gotten
decorate your hideout however
heads,
you like,
damn it.
and it's no exception here.
Okay, I'm canceling.
It comes with
I'm
a
closing the
variety
game
of thematic
completely.
elements to use,
and
or use
logging back
decorations
in.
from elsewhere in the game.
Oh,
Additionally, you'll
it's
get
going
the
down.
Death
Oh,
Shriek's
yeah,
blessing
it's
level up
updating.
effect.
I was just about
The
to click
king of the
cancel.
Faradin Kiwi pet.
I'm at 8. It's going down
And
really
last but not
fast.
least, a statue
Yeah.
depicting the Val Oversoul from Path of Exile 1.
Okay. I'm going
For
to
those
stop
who
the
don't know
video.
how supporter packs work, each pack comes with all of the cosmetics from the previous tier, so you'll get all the items from the
I'm at
Lord of
2K,
Ogham supporter
everybody,
pack as
let's
well.
go.
Yeah, I mean
The Thaumaturge of the Val supporter pack
You're in
features
game?
an armor.
yeah, I agree. Of course, I agree to everything. Take everything. Yes, it's starting.
900, triple digits. We're almost there.
Is to be hanged
700,
neck
650.
until dead. Let your souls feed the first ones, and your bodies feed.
Oh, nice. Oh, this is where.
Authenticated.
Oh, this is where I select character. Okay. Exile. Okay. Let's go with you.
Sorceress.
Mercenary, witch, ranger.
Should I go with witch or sorceress? Oh, come on.
Sorceress. You were better
Standard.
Kara for experimenting with the elements. Arrogance has led you.
By the way, which server were you on?
Your very
Singapore.
coven
Okay.
cast you out for your forbidden pursuits.
Witch or sorceress? Witch or sorceress? Witch or sorceress?
Do a coin toss, heads or tails.
Let's go witch. कौन सा?
कौन सा?
Oh wow, I'm actually playing.
I'm still thinking of my
Players in the same
about
party
my
will join
name.
the same areas. Okay.
Oh, I got it.
The chat has gone crazy. Everyone is like, yo, let's go. I can't believe I'm in. Okay. Movement type WST. Yes.
So you're doing standard, right?
Yeah, standard.
I will not join the dead today.
Okay.
Oh, this is nice. This movement is fucking amazing. WSD.
First ones, you're alive. I'm glad to see another living soul. The miller went off to warn clear.
Dodge rolling can be done during the almost any action.
I was fixing to go after
Okay,
him.
yeah,
till
cool.
that bloody thing
Let's
got
go,
to
let's
his
go, let's
blood.
go.
Now, all those who drowned in the flooding, suddenly they ain't so dead. I would appreciate it if you could. Reach Clearfell. Find the miller.
The dead rise again. Oh, I'm going to like it here.
Chaos
All
Bolt.
right.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this movement is so much better, man. Oh my
Oh
god, this
yeah.
is so much better. Can we invite each other to a party or whatever?
Oh shit. That poor guy. Inventory. Disconnected.
No, disconnected. No.
Damn it. Okay. Click OK. Oh wait, the game itself shut. I clicked OK.
Oh
and the game.
no, the game crashed.
Well, that was fun. For like all 15, all effective 15 seconds of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start this back up again. Please let me log in.